And with that, we will go to item number 10 for our opportunities for statements from the public.
This item has 10 minutes for public comment. We have 11 speakers for this item, and each speaker will get 1 minute. Our first speaker is Jillian.
I just want to, okay, good. Hi, I'm Jillian Claycomb. I'm a high school teacher in Los Angeles. I'm a member of UTLA. And I'm here with CalSTRS Divest, which is a coalition of rank and file educators and retired CalSTRS members from across the state of California. We've been organizing together for more than a year to build power with each other. We have support from over 50 organizations, unions, and community organizations from across the state, including my union, UTLA, the second largest union in the country, and California Federation of Teachers. And we are calling for CalSTRS to end material support for the atrocities that are being committed by the Israeli government in Gaza and across the occupied Palestinian territories. We want CalSTRS to follow its ESG policies and withdraw our monies from companies that consistently, knowingly, and directly facilitate or enable severe human rights violations.
Thank you for your comments.
We are looking forward to a meeting with Scott Chan. Thank you. We've sent an email with information. Thank you very much.
Our next speaker is Sophia.
Hello. I'm Sophia. I'm a current California special education teacher. I'm here with CalSTRS Divest to express my concerns with the investments our pension has with companies that profit off of genocide. One particular company is Palantir, who not only provides the technology to the Israeli army to commit genocide in Gaza, but is also providing the surveillance technology that is being used by ICE and attacking our immigrant communities. The Israeli military has used AI-generated kill lists developed by Palantir that require virtually no human oversight and have resulted in the deaths of tens of thousands of civilians. There's a software called Lavender that assigns a score from 1 to 100 to every person in Gaza based on the likelihood that they are militant. And another program called Where's Daddy that notifies the military when a person on the kill list is home so that it would be targeted to be bombed. We should not be investing in a company that is relying on AI to determine who gets to live, who is a predetermined risk, and deciding to kill them. How do companies like Palantir not violate the ESG policy? We demand a meeting with CIO Scott Chan as soon as possible. I want no part of this and want you to divest my pension from Palantir now.
Our next speaker is Ali.
My name is Allie and I'm a teacher in South Central Los Angeles, one of the communities most impacted by the ongoing ICE terror in LA, and I am here to urgently demand a meeting with Scott Chan. Over the last 6 months, my students, their parents, and community members have been kidnapped by masked, unidentifiable men right outside of our school. These ongoing acts of terror are enabled by Palantir surveillance technology, which all of us here today as CalSTRS members are invested in and therefore complicit in. This same Palantir technology is being used by the Israeli military to streamline their live stream genocide against Palestinians in Gaza and the West Bank, which makes us also complicit in the kidnapping, torturing, and systematic murder of hundreds of thousands of Palestinian families and their children and their families. So it looks as though decision makers like yourselves will one day stand in front of a truth commissions unless we as educators speak up and demand divestment. I stand here for my abducted students. And I stand here for every single Palestinian when I demand a meeting with CIO Scott Chan to discuss divestment from all companies enabling and profiting from the genocide of Palestine.
Our next speaker is Kyle.
Hello, Kyle Weinberg, President, San Diego Education Association. We're part of California Teachers Association and the National Education Association. All of our bodies have democratically voted to join the National Labor Ceasefire Network. We call on for a ceasefire in Gaza, for the fundamental rights of all people to be restored, for the hostages to be released along with Palestinian prisoners of war. To achieve this, we need to halt all military aid to Israel immediately. That means that CalSTRS must immediately divest from all companies and bonds that enable, facilitate, and profit from weapons manufacturing and human rights violations, in particular, violations of international law. We're calling as educators, I'm a special education teacher, as educators, we're calling on CalSTRS to divest now.
Our next speaker is Michael.
My name is Mikhail. I'm a LAUSD high school teacher, member of UTLA and its House of Representatives, members of the CalSTRS board. We are reasonable people. Ignorance and indifference are terrible things, but understandable. But after today, none of you can claim this as a reason. You oversee the pensions of over 1 million educators whose labor of love is invested by your hands in the greatest atrocity of the 21st century, the Gaza genocide. UTLA has joined a dozen other unions across the state calling on you to divest from Israel and from the genocide. Will you ignore the people you are elected and appointed to serve? It is outrageous that when a bomb is dropped on the heads of Palestinian men, women, and children, a quarter or a nickel goes into my pension fund. I'm not going to retire with blood and death on my hands. It's shameful. CIO Chan, meet with us, work with us. And board of directors, you all have a choice. Bring honor and dignity upon yourselves by taking the courageous stand of ending the genocide in Gaza, or bring in honor, shame, and immorality. Please work with us. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Curtis.
Hello, my name is Curtis. I'm a teacher in the San Diego Unified School District, a member of the San Diego Education Association, and I'm also here with the CalSTRS Divest organization, urging you to divest from Palantir and other companies supporting the genocide in Gaza. I'm also a board member of a local trust that oversees millions of dollars for retired educators, so I can sympathize with your position as a fiduciary. And I just want to say that the moral question here is obvious, but also I think that if we continue to stay invested in companies like Palantir, we're being very short-sighted. We need to look at the impacts that they're having on human lives and on our economy, not just in Palestine, but here locally as well. And I urge Scott Chan to meet with the CalSTRS Divest group. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Erin.
Hi, everyone. My name is Dr. Erin Evans, and I'm an associate professor at San Diego Mesa College, one of the largest community colleges in San Diego. I'm also a member of AFT 1931, and I'm also on the County Board of Education. I am speaking for myself only, but I can say as a member of the board, I understand the pressures that board members are under, the interests, all the various interests that you're trying to meet. And what we're asking you to do is, number one, just to establish dialogue with us, to talk to your constituency. I am really heartened to hear the conversation that you all just had. It was one of the most self-reflexive conversations about AI I have heard yet, as a professor and as a board member, and I really, really appreciate it. And I hope that you know that if you act on your values in terms of divesting from our participation in war, that you have a body of people who will back you up. You have people who will back you up. Thank you.
Our next speaker is June.
Hi everyone, my name is June Yang. I'm a professor of philosophy at Grossmont College for 20 years. I'm also an AFT 1931 exec board member. So I want to say that California has the third highest percentage of Palestinian students and residents out of all the states. So these are our constituency. They're also your constituency. I also want to bring to mind that actually we have to keep in mind what's happening in Palestine. For example, they're lured to sites where food is supposed to be distributed, and then they are sniped, they are murdered. These are realities that we are paying for, and it makes me cry. It's becoming harder to face my students of Palestinian descent and who have relations in that area of the world. So I think it's time for us to act now. I definitely think that you have met your fiduciary duties. We are so appreciative of that, but we also now think that it's time to meet our ethical duties. How can we look our students in the eyes? How can we look at each other in the eyes if we continue to be vested in these companies such as Palantir? Thank you for your time.
Our next speaker is Mona.
Good afternoon, members of the board. My name is Mona. I'm an English professor at San Diego City College and the Academic Senate president. Our students actually recently passed a divestment resolution that was created by the students, but not just for the students, for our entire campus and district community. Our students just then came to our academic senate and presented the resolution and passed the resolution. So our entire campus overwhelmingly supports divesting from the same companies that everyone else here supports divesting. So I urge you all to please use the power that you have to divest. As a Palestinian woman, it is nearly impossible for me to think about where my CalSTRS money is going, and the reality that the comfort that I will someday enjoy is coming at the cost of children from the same region that my mother was expelled from 30 years ago. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Scott.
My name is Scott Kelley. I'm a professor of biology at San Diego State, actually computational biology at San Diego State University, and I can tell you, no one's learning, my students are not learning to code from ChatGPT. They don't know Jack after they use those codes. But I've been a professor for 20 years. I was also an elementary school teacher, and in both capacities, I've taught incredible young people, including many new immigrants and children of immigrants. And all this time, I have never seen my students so frightened for themselves, for their families, or for their loved ones. Every day, they worry that some masked ICE goon Descapo brown shirt will walk on their doors, tackle them at the grocery store, abduct a loved one, and ship them literally to another country. Does this sound like America to you? One of my students cannot sleep because her fiance, who came here as a child, could be deported illegally at any moment and never to be seen again. It is unconscionable for a pension fund for educators to invest in companies like Palantir that are actively rounding up our students and their families for deportation while also making AI kill lists in Gaza. Divest from these merchants of death and please invest in a better future. Thank you.
And our last speaker is Kevin.
Hello, my name is Kevin Welch and I'm speaking today as an individual. I want to remind the board and the public of your fiduciary duty. You are responsible for the retirement security of nearly 1 million members, and your commitment to achieving full funding of the defined benefit plan requires a long-term investment return of 7% annually. Under Article 16, Section 17 of the California Constitution, as amended by Prop 162, you have the sole fiduciary responsibility to make investment decisions in the best interest of all CalSTRS beneficiaries. While global events can influence public opinion, CalSTRS has wisely maintained an investment strategy that is resilient to short-term political or emotional pressures. This approach has protected the fund from reactionary shifts that may not align with the long-term health of the portfolio. I urge you to stay the course. In conversations I've had with educators across California, the overwhelming sentiment is clear. Teachers want CalSTRS to focus on achieving full funding. Block out the noise and remain guided by your fiduciary duty. If you try to respond,
Thank you for your comments.
Genocide apologists.
Okay, thank you for your comments. That concludes our first day of our offsite. Tomorrow morning, we begin at 9 a.m. sharp. Members of the board, tonight is our board dinner. For anybody who wants to walk over, we'll meet in the lobby at 5:40. Thank you.
Free Palestine!
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 CalSTRS, you will see!
CalSTRS, you will see!
Palestine will be free!
Palestine will be free!
CalSTRS, you will see!
CalSTRS, you will see!
Palestine will be free!
Palestine will be free!
Not another nickel, not another dime!
Not another nickel, not another dime!
No more money for Israel's crime!
No more money for Israel's crime!